morning, guys, and welcome back. So we just finished up morning milking. We're letting the cows outside right now. But we have a few things to do first because we are letting them outside. Today is gonna be the first day that they're gonna go out onto pasture. It is May 22nd, I believe. So it's a little bit earlier than last year. Last year, I don't think we let them out until June 1st. So I'll take you guys out. We got a few things to do before we start letting them out. So we did clean the entire free stall today, bedded the stalls, locked the boys out because they were being frustrating this morning. As usual, huh, Neil? He said I wouldn't do that. Okay, so we also cleaned the pad yesterday. They did mess it up a little bit, but it's pretty good. So that's what the pasture's looking like. It's not quite as tall as we'd like it to be. We were gonna wait another week. Problem is, it's supposed to cool down next week and be only like 62 or something like that and cloudy, so it's not gonna grow, at least within the next week. And if we wait too long, the grass is gonna be past its prime and it's just not gonna be as good for them. So since we have plenty of feed anyway, we're just gonna let them out, and if they end up eating the pasture down, like if we have a dry spell or something and it just doesn't grow anymore, we'll have plenty of hay to feed them. They've been dying to go out. The last few nights, they just come back to the gate and scream. They want to be out, so we're going to give in and just finally let them out. We're going to open the electric fence to this area right here so they can go in there and eat everything. This is just supposed to be a drainage area where the water from the pad leaches out. And we're supposed to let them in there every once in a while just to let them graze it down. So we're going to let them in there right off this year. Typically, we just haul this back to here. Make sure it's down a ways. Just leave that there. We got to swing open this gate, which is extremely heavy, so Brent was going to come out and help me do that. By the way, if you are new here, I'm Taylor and I work on a dairy farm in central Maine. We milk about 70 cows. We milk in a tie stall, which is the tall barn you can see there. And then we have a free stall, and it's kind of an odd setup. Typically, you don't see a tie stall and a free stall together. It's either one or the other. You either have a free stall and milk in a parlor, or you just have a tie stall. But we have both, and it works really good. It's a good combination. I love milking in a tie stall. The cows are just so much more friendly, and it's so much more personable, and I just love it. So if you enjoy watching this kind of videos, please hit that subscribe button because we'd love to have you guys join us. One other thing we did yesterday was Cinnamon moved to her new pen. I know, you girls want to go outside. So yeah, Cinnamon is in her new pen now. I know, just a minute. Excuse me. I'm trying to talk. Thank you. So we cleaned out her pen. We put some new fresh sawdust down. It's gonna be impossible to talk to you guys. I think they know what's going on. But she's been weaned off. We put her in here yesterday. She wasn't excited at all. She could not have cared less. So she was like the most boring calf we've ever put in a pen. She just kind of walked around like, yeah, so. She walks over and eats out of the feeder like she's been here forever, and she just doesn't care. So, yeah. I'm afraid she doesn't have a personality. Poor baby, you gotta get one. You're not gonna fit in here if you don't have a personality. Brett's coming out in 5 minutes. I'm gonna take this camera. Oh dear. What is that? Huh, I broke it. Huh, I already did. Well, that's weird. All right, I don't know what happened there, but I'm gonna take my tripod out there and find a good place where you guys can watch what's going on. By the way, I should explain if you are new here. This is it's either like a 25 to 30 acre pasture. We let them out in May, late May, early June, and then they don't come in until late November, or, you know, mid-November, late November, sometime in there. So they spend all summer grazing. Once the grass gets down a little ways, because I mean we have 70 cows and that's a lot, even on a bigger pasture. Once that grass gets down a little ways, we just supplement their feed with hay. We just, you know, like we have right now, we have hay in that feeder and everything. We'd have a water on this side of the tank that they can come up and drink out of, and then there's also You can see that green automatic water that's out in the pasture. They can come around and drink out of that as well. That pond over there is fenced off because that's where our barn water comes from for the cows. It doesn't do anything in our milkroom. It's just strictly for the cows drinking water. So that's why we have that roped off, just so they don't get in there and make a mess. I wish it was a sunnier day. But I tried doing it myself, but I couldn't get it. It's stuck behind that pole. Yeah. Well, the roller gate ain't rolling anymore. Broke the tire off it.
Needs to go in the shop. Yeah.
Come on, hon. Go out there. Yeah. Nope. I know, none of them care. They're like, this happens every year.
They used to run to beat hell.
Yep. I'm surprised like younger heifers like these two though, they don't run around. There's the one that just calved the other day. Dolly. Oh, there goes one. One runner. Well, not much excitement, but they're out there. Wish it was more exciting to show you guys, but they just don't really seem to care anymore. Oh well, it's really nice to see them out there, so. Another thing that we have to do today is we do have to do a little bit of cleaning up. We have inspector coming today. I think it's called a farm inspection, and I know that sounds like a duh, it's called a farm inspection, but I think it stands for Farmers Assuring Responsible Management. I'll ask Brent, he knows for sure what it is, but there's like a whole binder that we have to fill out, and then they come up and they actually come in and check on everything. So that's what's going on today. I think they're coming at like 1 or something like that, so we gotta get the barn cleaned up, because that's just a mess. The girls were in here a little bit longer than usual today, so naturally they have to make the biggest mess they can. So gross. That's more like it. Real quick, we got a pile of stuff to clean up out front. So Brent's got the Kubota right now. He's down back dropping off some wood. So I'm gonna drive the skid steer down there real quick so that he can push that into my bucket when he gets down there, because he's the skid steer king. I get to use the Kubota. Should be back in a few minutes. The sun finally came out and it is hot. It's supposed to be 81 today. I Can't really tell what that says, but it looks like it says 65 already. So I think they're gonna be right. Tomorrow is supposed to be even hotter than today. And then next week, like I said, it's supposed to be in the 60s. So it's really gonna suck when it gets into the 60s after this, but he's just down there dropping some wood that we had up here off because we're gonna use it still. We just don't want it hanging around the yard because it's kind of messy looking. So once he gets back and we take care of that, I need some sunglasses. It's so bright out here. After we do all that, we got to take a look at the Kubota's hand throttle. It snapped off right directly at the bottom of the hand throttle. We did call our Kubota dealer and they're getting us one in. I think it was like 80 bucks or something. I think it's going to be really, really hard to change it, but we'll see. I'm not really sure how long it is, but I'll show you guys anyway. But when you're in the tractor, it's off to your right. This is the hand throttle, obviously, and then there's this little panel that you can take off so you can look in there and see. That's where it's broken, but it goes all the way down under the floorboard, I'm assuming, and then comes up through and attaches to the foot pedal so that they're synchronized. And I think that's going to be the tough part, is getting all that in there. I think it's going to be a nightmare, but we'll see. Taking it out of four-wheel drive. It doesn't like to come out.
Jump in the pit.
Okay. Alright, so...
On the hay pile.
Okay. This right here is what I'm talking about. So, you can see the hand throttle right here. It pulls up on this cable right here, I believe. So, it pulls up on that. And you can see... If I squish myself in there... Oh, it's this one back here. It pulls up there where you can see right there where it's disconnected. It's supposed to be pulling that cable up and it's snipped right off. So that's a hard spot to get into. All right, not doing my job. Also, something else I gotta do today. Some of you guys were asking what the noise was the Kubota was making. There you go, there it is right there. That guard right there is bumping up against the exhaust. So we gotta bend that out so that it doesn't do that anymore. It's really annoying, so. Have made it out over here yet. This is kind of the bad side of the pasture. It's ledgy and high, so it doesn't have very deep soil. It doesn't grow very good grass, but the wet spot grows good weeds. That's pretty much it. The dreaded pit. I remember what happened the last time we were in here. Okay, so it is 3:30. The inspector just left. It took a little bit longer than we thought it would. We're running the wash right now, so in a few minutes we'll let the girls inside after we get that milk room set up and everything. They are really happy out on pasture. A lot of them came back up and they're just kind of chilling in the stalls right now. I'm not sure they really give a crap about being milked, but they look doped out on grass. Ivy, what you doing, hon? Did you have a good day grazing? Yeah, so little turd right there is laying backwards. You must be the culprit who's pooping in the stalls. Irritates me how the smaller cows will do that. Anyway, we did pass, yay. She said the cows looked good, they looked happy. Very clean, she said they were very clean cows. So yeah, we passed. She went over and looked at the heifers, said everything looked good. It took about probably 2.5 hours altogether. We had a couple questions to ask her about our pipeline because we've been having problems with our PI count. It's been a little bit high and she thinks that it might be our water temperature, so we're gonna have to do something there to figure out how to get our water temperature hotter. But other than that, no problems. It went really well, so yay, right, Cinnamon? This time they're not gonna be coming back for another 3 years, so in 3 years we'll have another cow inspection, but it went well. Unfortunately, we don't have any time to work on anything else today, so I will see you guys tomorrow when we're gonna be working on the Kubota and pulling out the wrapper and seeing if we can get that going. Hello again, it is the next day. Brent had to be somewhere, so while he was gone, he wanted me to pump up a tire on the wrapper. I guess one of the tires is flat. Happens every year, it just goes flat over the winter. I don't know if the cold weather does it to it. We don't have a leak in it because over the summer it's completely fine, so I'm just gonna drag this over there and blow it up because I'm afraid it'll come off the rim if I hook it up to the Kubota and try to pull it over here with it flat and then pump it up. So we're just gonna drag this over there, so I'm gonna let that Let's see what's going on, which tire it is. Usually it's the one, there's 2 tires on one side and 1 on the other, and usually the one that's single goes down. Move some stuff here. Still didn't get it mowed where we had the planter. And the grass has gone crazy over here. So these 2 are both up. Reason we're pulling this out, last year we had the hydraulic motor or pump or whatever it is go on it and we had to replace that and we never used it after that. So we just want to pull it out and kind of do a dry run on it, see how it's going to act. We might also have to put some air in the cylinder that cuts. We didn't have to do it last year. It didn't seem to have a problem last year, so we'll check it out and see if we got lucky this year too. You just take this off, just fill it like you would a tire. Yeah. And then it just uses air to push that cylinder shut and pushes it up against that knife blade right there and just cuts your wrap. And it is definitely this one that's flat. Yeah. So we don't want to haul that out like that. Also have to go get the tire gauge because I'm pretty sure he said it takes 20 pounds, so. Except I don't know where he put the tire gauge, so that could be a problem. I swear we had like 5 of them and they just slowly disappeared. Not surprising if you see our shop. We usually stick them up here with all the other air stuff. But I guess we'll just have to wing it until he gets back, put enough in it that looks right. Air is heavier than you'd think. So I think that'll get us out of there, and then we'll hopefully find a pressure gauge to check it. Next thing on the list is try to figure out how to get that old cable off, so we can figure out also how to get the new one on. Jack it up, we can get it on there. There, that should go in there now. Let's grab our pin. Right there. Well, we got the arm up. Now I guess we'll just see if we can get it out of there. I'm not sure we can fit through this hole with that, but we'll try it. know, just wait for Brent so you can try it. He's the rapper and not like the singer rapper. I'd like to see that though, that'd be funny. I've used it, but not, like I can wrap bales, but it takes me forever because there's so many levers to remember. You got 4 of them, and I don't know, it just hurts my brain. So you have to let this arm down after you load a bale, because if you don't, the turntable will hit it, and it's just a lot of stuff to think about when you don't do it very often. You have to let go of the wrap once you go around a couple times, and it's just a lot of stuff you have to remember. Unless I absolutely have to, Brent is the one that does the wrapping because it's just so much faster, and obviously when it's hay season, we've got to be quick about it. So I'm gonna grab some needle nose pliers and we'll take a look at that Kubota cable while we're waiting for Brent to come back. By the way, if you haven't seen these videos and you're new here, this wrapper, Brent has had this for 23, 21, 20 something years, I don't know. He bought it used and it was around 25 or whatever years old then, so it's around a 40-year-old wrapper. And it does a fantastic job. It's just so heavy duty. Somebody actually put an extra tire on the front just to make it so if you're doing really heavy bales, it doesn't wobble so much. No troubles with this. It does an amazing job. If you go look at the new ones, this is so much more heavy duty. This is back when they made real metal equipment. Like the new Andersons and stuff. They just look kind of flimsy compared to these now. The only thing we've had done to it is 8 years ago, we did have the hydraulics redone on it. And last year we did have to have the turntable motor or whatever you call it. But that's it. It does a great job. It's 20-inch wrap instead of 30, which 30 is more common now. So the wrap is not really difficult to find. We have a place we get it from that has it every year, and it's actually cheaper because it's 20-inch instead of 30. And a lot of people say that you're actually wasting some of the wrap when you have 30-inch because it overlaps a lot, if you know what I mean. With the 20-inch wrap, it kind of conforms to the bale better and you don't really waste as much. Brent wraps them entirely twice, and you can do around 23 to 24 bales with one of those boxes. And as long as it's kicking, we're gonna use it. It's an ELO, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. I think they still make them, except they're green now. So this is really way back when they were like kind of a rusty colored red. So yeah, we just wanted to try that out. You know, it's better to find out maybe it's not going to work now than get out in the field and you've got bales to wrap and you can't. So I think what we're going to do here, I got to take that pin out so then I can take that whole part that broke off, that assembly off there. I'm not really sure the bottom piece. I think that's just an adjustment. I don't know. Maybe you can back that off all the way and you can actually get that off. You might be able to back that nut out and get it off, or it's just an adjustment. I don't really know. I'm not a mechanic. This is a hard spot to be. Then I can't really see that, but I think it does actually. I think it just runs under this mat. I don't think it actually runs under the floorboard. Yep, it does. Oh, thank goodness. So that might not be as bad as we thought. It runs under that mat. You've got to take this panel off, I'd say. You've got a nut there, one there. And then I think we should be able to get to it after that. I'm not really sure. I don't know. We'll see. We'll take that pin out of there first. It looks like fun. Okay. The easiest way to do this will be take it out from the top. So, difficult spot. Some mechanic is watching this going, wow, she's dumb. Oh, I got it. It's so little. That's the smallest one I've ever seen. I'm gonna put it in the cup holder for now. Alright. So, then I think we can just reach in there and... Alright. So we got that part off. And just pretty much severed it. So now all we gotta do is figure out how to get that bottom piece on. Looks like it could be rather involved. I guess, ow. We'll wait for the boss to get back and ask him what he wants to do. Since this is his tractor, I won't go ripping into it without asking him first. So, we'll wait for Brent to come back. Alright, so Brent just made it back a little bit later than expected, and it ended up being like 88 degrees today, so we didn't end up doing a whole lot. The cows didn't even really stay out to pasture, they just finally went out. Now we're gonna have to go out and get them. We are gonna head over and test out the wrapper real quick, and then I'll show Brent what I did on the whole, I always forget what you call that. Hand throttle, there we go. Then we'll let the girls in and milk them, and it's gonna be hot in here. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
100 degrees.
It's a little, I think that's a little generous.
Little bit, but it's probably 90. Feels like 90.
Okay, you gotta plug the hoses in.
Yeah, I did, but I don't know if they're right. I don't know how they're supposed to be. So, this is just the thing.
Where did you take that one up from?
Here.
You gotta be on one side. One boat.
They gotta be in one remote. Huh?
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah, I think.
That's the knife?
Go the other way. That's alright. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
There.
There.
I guess it's gonna work. Now we just need to
Everything works.
get a bale on there.
Everything works.
So I'm in the milk room because it's a lot cooler in here. We're all ready to get started milking. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was rather long. We kind of strung it out over a few days, but we had a pretty busy couple days with the inspection and everything and getting the cows out. So a lot accomplished, and it feels good to have everything kind of settle down a little bit before haying season starts. We're gonna start a couple small fields first, just kind of ease into it to make sure the mowing machine and the wrapper are both going to work well, where we haven't used them since we fixed them last year. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like and comment down below, and subscribe, of course, if you're not already subscribed. So keep it real, keep farming, and I hope to see you in the next video.